Life processes.
Hello children, have you all done your work? Have you all finished writing all the notes related to transportation in animals? Okay, I hope you have understood after seeing the video and attending the class. Today we will be learning transportation in plants and excretion in animals and plants. Last class I thought of completing transportation in plants, but then I stopped with transportation in animals because you may not be able to learn everything together. The topic is very important. There is a lot of things to learn. Be very clear with what is single circulation, what is double circulation, etc. Today, before I go to the transportation plans, I shall just recall the previous topics first, and then we will start the new topic. That is in transportation plans and excretion in animals and plants. Last class I had explained the structure of the heart and generally told about the blood vessels. Today I would like to remind you about different types of blood vessels which I had not discussed last class. What are the three main types of blood vessels? Yes, arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries transport oxygenated blood from the heart to different parts of the body. Veins transport deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body back to the heart. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels which connect different organs of a body, different parts of a body. It also connects arteries and veins. That is how it is able to connect to the cells. Apart from these three main blood vessels, there is two more. Not two more, 3 or 4 more is there, but two more important ones. That is pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery does the opposite function of the artery. Pulmonary vein also does the opposite function of the vein. Be very clear with this and keep in your mind. Pulmonary artery transports deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. What does pulmonary artery do? It transports deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Why should it be transported to the lungs? For exchange of gases. After exchanging the gases, the oxygenated blood is transported through the pulmonary vein from the lungs to the left side of the heart. Once again I repeat. Pulmonary vein transports oxygenated blood from the lungs back to the heart. Hope you have understood this. Next, which side of the heart pumps oxygenated blood? Yes, left side of the heart. Oxygenated blood from the lungs is emptied into the left atria. From the left atria, when the auricles atria contracts, the blood moves to the left ventricle. When the left ventricle contracts, it is pumped to the largest artery, that is to the aorta. So, which side of the heart pumps oxygenated blood? Left side of the heart. From where is it pumped from? From the left ventricle. To which blood vessel is it pumped? Aorta. Which is the largest artery? Aorta. That part is clear, isn't it? Next, aorta branches into arteries. Arteries will again branch into arterioles. Arterioles will again branch into capillaries. And capillaries will reach the cells. Respiration takes place in the cells. Other activities, other chemical reactions also will take place. After respiration, oxygen is used up for releasing energy and carbon dioxide is released. This carbon dioxide is given to the blood in the capillaries. Capillaries will join to form venules. Venules will again join to form veins. Veins will join to form vena cava. Vena cava empties the deoxygenated blood to the right atria. From the right atria, when it contracts, the blood moves to the right ventricle. When the right ventricle contracts, the blood is pumped into the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery takes its blood to the lungs for exchange. So we have completed one cycle. So one circulation, to complete one circulation, blood passes through the heart 2 times. That is why circulation in human is called as double circulation. First, deoxygenated blood comes to the heart. From the heart it goes to the lungs. From the lungs again it comes to the heart. And from the heart again it is pumped to different parts of the body. So blood passes through the heart twice, and hence it is called as double circulation. All the warm-blooded animals, amphibians, yes, birds and mammals have double circulation. The wall in the center of the heart, which separates right chambers and left chambers, will prevent the mixing up of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. And that is very, very essential, because we need more energy than cold-blooded animals. Why is it so? Because major part of the energy that is released is used for maintaining a body temperature. So if the blood mixes, deoxygenated and oxygenated blood mixes, then the amount of oxygen supplied to different parts of the body for releasing energy will be reduced. Hope this point is very clear to you. Is it clear? Okay. Which blood vessel has valves to prevent backward flow of blood? Yes, very good. It is veins. Since the pressure of the blood is more in the arteries, there is no need for a valve. So there are no valves in arteries, but they have thick elastic walls. Why should they have thick elastic walls? Because the pressure is high. The pressure of the blood exerted on the wall of the artery is called blood pressure. What is the normal blood pressure of a person at rest? Sorry, normal adult person? 120 by 80 mmHg. What is mmHg? Millimeters of mercury. So these were the things that we discussed in the last class. Today I will show you a video about how the circulation is taking place. Last class I showed you a video related to the heart, structure of the heart. Today I will show you about the circulation of the blood, and after that we will discuss the remaining topics. Human circulatory system. Human circulatory system helps in the transport of substances from one part of the body to the other parts. Human circulatory system consists of blood, blood vessels and heart. Blood is a red colored fluid which flows inside the blood vessels. It transports digested food from the small intestine to all parts of the body. Blood carries oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. Blood transports waste for the removal from the body. Blood is composed of plasma and blood cells. The 3 types of blood cells are red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Red blood cells contain a red color pigment called hemoglobin. The function of hemoglobin is to transport oxygen to all the cells of the body. White blood cells fight against germs that enter the body. Platelets help in clotting of blood. The 3 different types of blood vessels in the human body are arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Veins carry carbon dioxide-rich blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. The pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Arteries have thicker walls than the veins. Capillaries are extremely thin tubes that join the end of an artery to the beginning of the vein. Heart is the muscular pumping organ of the body that pumps blood to all parts of the body through the blood vessels. It is located in the chest cavity with its lower tip slightly tilted towards the left. The heart consists of 4 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are called atria, whereas the lower 2 chambers are called ventricles. The left side of the heart contains oxygen-rich blood, whereas the right side of the heart contains carbon dioxide-rich blood. The partition between the chambers help to avoid mixing up of oxygen-rich blood with carbon dioxide-rich blood. The passage of blood in the heart can be described as follows. The veins carry deoxygenated blood from different organs and drains the blood into the main vein called vena cava. The vena cava drains all the blood into the right atria. The right auricle contracts and pushes the blood into the right ventricle. The right ventricle pumps the deoxygenated blood into the pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery carries this blood to the lungs where it gets oxygenated. The pulmonary vein carries oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the left atrium of the heart. The left atrium contracts and pushes the oxygenated blood into the left ventricle. The left ventricle contracts and pumps the oxygenated blood into the main artery, that is called aorta. Transportation in plants. You have already learned that transportation plants involves a special tissue called as vascular tissue. What is vascular tissue made up of? Yes, that is not made up of. There are two types of vascular tissue. They are xylem tissue and phloem tissue. What is the function of xylem tissue? Yes, xylem tissue transports water and minerals. What is the function of phloem tissue? Phloem tissue transports food. So all these you had already learned in 9th standard. We are just recalling it. You know, xylem tissue is in turn made up of 4 types of cells. Xylem tissue and phloem tissue are complex tissues. They are called complex tissues because they are made up of 4 types of cells. Xylem tissue is made up of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Whereas phloem tissue is made up of companion cells, seed tubes, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Xylem tissue is considered to be a dead tissue. The reason is that except xylem parenchyma, all the other cells are dead. Whereas phloem tissue is a living tissue. The reason is except phloem fibers, all the other cells are living cells. So today we will learn how food is transported through phloem and water and minerals is transported through xylem. What helps in the transportation of this water and food? Is energy required for the transport? Or does it something else? Does it help the plant to transport water and food? So let us learn that in detail. The movement of dissolved substances in plants to great height is called as translocation. So now to a video, let us learn how transportation takes place in plants. Transportation in plants. We have already learned transportation in animals and now we shall learn transportation in plants. As we discussed earlier, plants prepare their own food using simple compound of inorganic sources such as carbon dioxide, water, along with some raw materials, and photosynthesize energy in the presence of sunlight and stored in the chlorophyll of leaves. The plants require raw materials like soil, nitrogen, phosphorus and other minerals to build their bodies. The plants absorb raw materials from soil with the help of roots which are in contact with the soil. If distance between soil, root and chlorophyll is small, energy needed is less and raw materials can easily diffuse into all parts of the plant body. If distance between soil, root and chlorophyll is large, it needs much energy and raw materials cannot diffuse easily. In such cases, a proper system of transportation is essential. The energy requirement for transportation also varies according to plant structure. As plants do not move and plant bodies have large dead cells in many tissues, as a result, plants have low energy needs and use slow transport system. In case of tall plants, distance over transport system is large. Why do plants need a transport system? Plants need water, mineral salts and raw materials for photosynthesis in order to survive. The water and mineral salts from soil is transported into plant through roots. These can only be transported through the water carrying tubes in the stem, also known as xylem. Products of photosynthesis prepared in the leaves are to be transported to the other parts of the plants. And this can only be transported by the food carrying tubes, which is also known as phloem. Now let us see how water is transported. In xylem tissue, vessels and tracheids are the two types of transport tissues in plants. Both vessels and tracheids consist of thick celled walls. So they play an important role in transportation of water. Tracheids are single-celled, shorter in length, whereas vessels are several-celled and much longer than tracheids. In xylem, vessels and tracheids of roots and stem and also leaves are interconnected to facilitate continuous water conduction system to all parts of the plant. The water transports upwards against force of gravity with the help of xylem vessels. In the movement of water, the water movement upwards, plants have two types of strategies. First, as the xylem vessels of roots are in contact with soil, it actively absorbs the water ions. When roots is in contact with the soil, soil has more concentration of water and root has less concentration, obviously. A difference in concentration of ions is present in between the roots and the soil. To balance the difference in water ions between root and the soil, water moves into the root, which means a steadily or continuous movement of water into xylem of roots, which creates column of water steadily pushing upwards. So the continuous flow is maintained. In xylem, the flow of water is bulk flow and negative pressure facilitates movement of water and mineral into roots. Because the concentration difference is there. Water moves from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Here, transpiration is another but of evaporation of water molecules from stomata of leaves into the atmosphere. Stomata are guarded by the two cells called guard cells. The loss of water in the form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration. The loss of water molecules or evaporation of water molecules through leaves creates suction or root pressure pull. Root pressure is created and pulls water upwards through xylem cells of roots. So a suction pull is created through transpiration. Thus, the losses of water through stomata of the leaves are replaced by suction of water through xylem vessels in the leaf. So transpiration plays an important role in absorption of water. It also helps in regulation of temperature. During day, transpiration helps in conduction of water through xylem vessels and maintains balance of ions between root and soil. During nights, root pressure occurs due to difference in concentration of active ions between root and soil, help in conduction of water. Next, phloem. Phloem tissue help in the transportation of food materials in the dissolved form. The structure of phloem consists of conducting cells called sieve elements, which are thick, circular and elongated cells. The food that is synthesized during photosynthesis are soluble products like sucrose and nutrients, carbohydrates, etc. These are transported through phloem in upward and downward directions to all parts of the plant. The transport of soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocation. It can be done by using the energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, produced by photosynthesis. So phloem transport requires energy. Phloem also transports amino acids and other substances. These are especially transported to fruits and seeds for storage, and food transported to roots for the requirement of energy in the process of absorption of water from soil to roots. Sucrose is transferred into phloem by using energy from ATP molecules, and this leads to increase in the osmotic pressure of the tissue, and water moves into phloem and materials in the phloem to tissue which have less pressure. So water moves from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. For example, in spring, sugar stored in the root or stem tissue would be transported to the buds which need energy to grow. Next, we shall learn about excretion in plants. Actually, I thought of taking this topic after excretion in animals. Since today's portion is not that big, I thought of taking the small topic along with transportation, so that next class we will learn that is excretion in animals. Okay. So now we shall learn excretion in plants. Excretion in plants. Plants produce a number of waste products during their life processes. These waste products should be removed from the body. The different methods by which plants remove the waste products are: first, plants get rid of excess water by transpiration. That is, excess water that enters into the plant is removed through transpiration. So, transpiration is very important. In two ways it will help the plant. Transpiration helps in creating a suction pull which help in the absorption of water in plants. Second, transpiration also helps in the removal of excess water. So, in both ways it is helping the plant. The gaseous waste produced during photosynthesis and respiration should be removed from the plant. So, what is the gaseous waste produced during photosynthesis? Yes, it's oxygen. So, the oxygen produced during photosynthesis and the gaseous waste carbon dioxide produced during respiration are removed through the stomata present in the leaves and released into the air. You know, these two gases are needed by plants. Please don't confuse it. If you write the gaseous waste produced in the plant, oxygen and carbon dioxide is removed from the stomata, if you write, it is wrong. Because oxygen is the waste produced during photosynthesis and carbon dioxide is the waste produced during respiration. That should be mentioned. These gases are removed through small pores present in the leaves which are called as stomata, and it is released into the air. Next, many waste products are stored in the cellular vacuoles. Waste products may be stored in the leaves that fall off. You have already learned about it. The waste materials is accumulated in the leaves, and when the plant shed their leaves, they get removed from the plant. Next, waste products are also stored as resins, gums, crystals, etc. You know, when we touch yam, elephant yam, we may feel the itching sensation. That itching is due to the crystals, calcium oxalate crystals stored in the cells in yam. Certain plants they store, some of them if they touch colocasia, they feel this itching sensation. This itching is caused due to the crystals that is stored, which is a waste material stored in the cells of certain plants. Calcium oxalate crystals are stored in the cells and this causes itching. When we cook this yam, these crystals will get dissolved. So, there is no itching sensation when we eat. So, resins, gums and crystals are some of the waste products that is stored in the cells. They need not be removed. They are not harmful. They are neither harmful to plants nor to the animals, including humans, which eat them. Next, plants excrete some waste products into the soil around them through their roots. Next, some of the plant wastes which are useful to humans are natural rubber, gums, resins, sandalwood oil, eucalyptus oil, etc. So this sandalwood oil, clove oil, eucalyptus oil, all these are essential oils which we get from plants. These are some of the waste products that is produced in the plant and which are useful to humans. Now all these points, that is excretion in plants, please copy down in your notebook. In the textbook everything is given, but as you attend the class, please take down all this in your notebook. Next is a worksheet. Worksheet means few questions are there. These questions I have given from the textbook itself. The notes will be sent to you. Okay. Only few notes are there that I will send to you. Worksheet, first work is you have to complete question number 1 to 5 given on page 110. On page 110, after the topic, that is transportation, plants and animals, there are 5 questions. Please write the answers for these 5 questions in the notebook. Next work is on the last page of the chapter, that is page number 113. Question numbers 10, 11 and 12. These questions are related to the topic which I have completed now, that is transportation. So write the answers for these questions also in the notebook and learn the topic. Okay children, so complete all the work, and if there is any doubt you may ask me. So again we will be meeting only after the Onam holidays. I wish you all a very happy Onam. Thank you.